The idea of breastfeeding separates society in several ways. Those who are for breastfeeding and can achieve it, those who are supportive of it but cannot achieve it, and those who are just totally against it. For those last two options, the only thing that's available for mothers is for them to formula feed their child. But are there any benefits, to formula feeding for the mother and or the baby? According to an article in Time magazine, a report done by the Manchester Evening News, and several studies done by pediatricians, and obviously several books, there hasn't been any evidence that has proven any benefits. So breastfed babies um, are reaping greater benefits because they are able to get the proper nutrients over and beyond the minimum requirement, and the mothers are also getting the benefit as well. But with formula feeding, there is just barely meeting the minimum requirement for nutrients. So breastfed babies and mothers who breastfeed will reap greater health benefits than those who do not participate in the practice. So what's the big deal about breastfeeding, or feeding, or formula feeding the child? Too many babies are being formula fed over breastfed, and that has to do with mothers being undereducated, and some mothers are lacking the support from their family or doctors or maybe even their culture that they're doing the right thing by breastfeeding. And some mothers are just simply unable to do it for certain medical reasons. I know if you have any alterations to your breast at all that you're unable to produce enough milk to breastfeed. And sometimes the baby just doesn't take to it at all, which as a mother there's nothing you can really do about that. But formula feeding is more convenient. It leaves the option to feed the child up to anyone, not just the mother. So it allows the mom to kind of go about her day and not have to focus on feeding times for the baby. But according to Kids Health, most moms are choosing not to breastfeed because of the convenience and the flexibility that formula feeding allows. And an article done by WebMD also supports this and proves that the lack of education is a huge factor as well. But someone you know is probably formula feeding their child or has done so in the past, and those children are extremely susceptible to illness and are more likely not going to be as healthy as um, a breastfed child, according to the National Resource Defense Council. Um, the breast milk has all the oligosaccharides that formula does not. And so this is what's going to build the immune system and keep away all these diseases and illnesses. And you're also risking with formula the risk of contaminated water. If you're using tap water or something like that, or you're in an area around the world that doesn't have an adequate water system, and you're also risking bacteria being in the bottles if they're not cleaned properly. So breastfeeding or encouraging to breastfeed will result in healthier lifestyles for the mother and baby. Um, and educating the mother is the first step. And this goes from telling her everything to the benefits of the baby and to the benefits of stuff for her, as well as giving her options to make it seem, just as convenient and flexible as formula feeding. But educating the public, including the family, is the next step, to make sure that they're giving the mother the right words of encouragement to make sure that she thinks that she's doing the right thing. And after educating, the next step is to make sure that adequate support is going into place. Um, and mothers saying that they were formula fed and turned out fine is a major argument that goes against that plan. Yes, formula fed babies can be perfectly healthy, but breastfed babies were overall much healthier, according to womenshealth.gov. And not having enough time to breastfeed is the next issue that people argue. And with modern technology advancing day by day, the latest technology has actually given women the option to pre set out the meals for their child by breast pump. And this allows women to, go about their day and go, go back to work and work full-time jobs and allow someone else to feed or go out as they wish. And then by breastfeeding, the overall health condition of the baby and mother, the baby receives the mixture of the right nutrients, and the chances of overfeeding are much, much lower, according to the Diet and Nutrition Source book. And all of these benefits can be seen in just the overall health of the mothers and the children. So Dr. Wendy Oddie spoke about the evidence that breast milk is seen in the brain development within the first year of birth. And the Boston Women's Book Collective stated that women who breastfeed have half the rate of breast cancer than those who do not. And the Australian Ovarian Cancer Society showed a direct correlation between breastfeeding and a decline in epithelial ovarian cancer. But by not breastfeeding or encouraging to do so, the baby will miss out on all the available nutrients um, that breast milk provides, and the mother will not get that special bond that comes with breastfeeding. None of these benefits can go into play without people like you and me taking action. So after giving you all this information about breastfeeding, it is shown that breastfed babies and women who breastfeed will reap greater benefits than those who do not participate in the practice. So I'd like to challenge you to do it yourself or encourage someone to do it so that mothers and children everywhere can benefit from this cost and health effective